Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about the Ducati factory seats for 2025. Now, there's been a lot of speculation since Marc Marquez made his debut in Valencia on the Gresini Ducati that he could form part of the official factory Ducati team in 2025. And when Paolo Ciabatti was specifically asked this question, he said, "Since we haven't yet defined the riders for 2025, I would say without problems that Marc Marquez could be one of the contenders for the official team. Obviously, there is an important aspect to underline here, which is from an economic point of view, we are no longer in the pre-COVID period, when a rider like him can earn millionaires type wages." But what I've read across the internet and this, that, and the other, a lot of people or in places are reporting it, that, this could be a shoe-in for Marc. And it is not necessarily the case in this, right? Because what Ciabatti was also saying was that, everyone is out of contract for 2025. So, you have Pecco, you have Martin, you have Bastianini, you have Fabio Quartararo. You have a lot of people besides Marc Marquez who are out of contract. Now, I think the competition for a Ducati seat in 2025 is going to be very tight and very difficult. I do think, Pecco, in my view, is probably the strongest contender to retain his seat. But Bastianini will definitely be under pressure to perform to keep his seat. And, you have the likes of Jorge Martin, who is significantly younger than Marc Marquez, and kind of falls in line with the ethos of Ducati of not the millionaire type wages, bringing someone up through the ranks. It would be, I would say, a shame if he wasn't used, but saying that, if Marc is fighting for the championship, wins the championship, it would be in Ducati's interest to try and bring him to the factory team. So it's not specifically that, Marc is the only contender. There are multiple contenders in there. Ducati seats, as I mentioned, in my view, will be few and far between next year. I do believe VR46 are going to drop Ducati and take up Yamaha, which has been on kind of the radar for years. So that will only leave 6 bikes on the grid. 4 factory and 2 satellites. So those Ducati bikes will be like gold dust. There will be riders trying to get onto them. You couldn't blame Fabio Quartararo. You couldn't blame Jorge Martin wanting to go to the factory. You couldn't blame Pecco for holding a space. If Marc Marquez has a great year on this, is fighting for the title, I have no doubt that he will want to stay on a Ducati and try and win that elusive championship or championships, I should say, to try and get ahead of Valentino Rossi. But, just make sure that you read what people are saying. There's a lot of things out that Marc Marquez is a shoe-in for it. And that's not the case. And it's a case that there's multiple riders. Ducati have multiple options. Remember, Ducati own the best bikes on the grid. If they have the best bikes on the grid, realistically in this day and age, they have the choice of the best riders to put on them. The power is in Ducati's hands. It's not in the riders who ride it. So I think it's really, really interesting to see that before 2024 has even kicked off, people are very worried about what's happening in the 2025 season. But I definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think about if Marquez performs in Gresini Ducati? Do you think he will get an opportunity to ride for the factory Ducati team? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.